Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This time I'm going to go over these markers here, alcohol markers. They're called NICETY markers. Nice and then TY. There's 120 colors in this set. And there's a brush tip as well as a chisel tip in this pack or in the markers. As I am gathering my materials back. I used to have Ohuhu and other things like Copic markers, and I just couldn't afford those things, at least right now. The markers are set in here. There's a plastic thing on the bottom that makes sure that it doesn't move. So unlike Ohuhu, unless they have changed things since I got them, Ohuhu would move around, but these won't move around. You just have to pull them out. And then the only drawback to this is sometimes things get stuck in there and you can't quite get it out. Or the top you would actually take off the marker and then the top would stay in the inside. It only happened a few times. Okay, so GG is gray and then the CG is cool gray. And the BG is blue gray. And warm G, WG is warm grays. They are ordered from Zero Colorless Blender all the way to your WGs. So they come in order. So that's cool if that is something that really bothers you when you get your markers and things are not in order. The brush, they are very nice, and I'm going to insert the price in the video. It wasn't that much, very little for what you get. So I think that the cost effectiveness of this one versus Ohuhu's price and other companies makes it worth your while to save some money. Very deep saturated colors. Set is varied. There's a lot of reds, pinks, oranges, yellows, greens, and blues. And if you are a portrait girl making stylized figures like myself, you will love the set because there's a lot of skin tone colors here in the beginning numbers, even in the later numbers. There's many different wide selections of different skin tones that you could work with for different color skin tones. You have 120 colors of beautiful colors with beautiful saturation and pigment. And I am going to do this piece. This is the watercolor paper I am going to be using with this piece I drew in the last video. This is on mixed media paper, and I ended up cutting out the background because watercolor didn't work. But I will be using this watercolor for the background. So we'll be Mod Podging that on this paper here. And this paper is S Pure paper. I got it on Amazon. It's cold press and 9 by 12 inches. And 140 pounds, 20 sheets. I have Mod Podged her onto this watercolor paper here. And then I realized my template's gone. So I pulled out my light pad again and created this template right here from the sketch before I did anything else, because this is going to be for final painting that I'm using oils in for my art meeting surrealistic element painting. The rest of the video will be sped up as I do my alcohol marker process and shading, as well as laying down coloring pencil work and final watercolor, as well as some metallic watercolors. I am using, of course, the NICETY alcohol markers that I just introduced you to. I do not think that they are any different from Ohuhu's, so I highly recommend saving yourself a lot of money by getting these, and they are still currently $36.99. So head over to Amazon and get those markers, unless you want markers. Ohuhu offers the kinds that you have the chisel and then the brush, as well as brush and fine tip. So unless you want both fine tip and brush markers, which is $97 versus $94 with the chisel for Ohuhu, you really should just get the NICETYs, and it's the same as far as saturation, color, vibrancy, the fading, bleeding of the markers, and I am also using Ohuhu color pencils later in this video to do some further shading in the hair and the skin tone. And also, I am going to use my Kuretake Gantai watercolors that I talked about in a different video. Also highly recommend. And that's probably why my earlier watercolor painting didn't work out very well. Maybe that's why. But this mixed media paper does not handle too much water. It's perfect for markers, color pencils, etc. And then, of course, the watercolors. I used the watercolors, and then I used metallic watercolors that I got from Chimu, and I used the color pencils from Ohuhu's, which I do also recommend. They are, I will have to insert the price right here. So they are $39 right now, but when I bought them, they were $34.99. A bit pricey, but overall, in the color pencil world of higher quality pencils, they are of a good price, and I don't think any others are comparable at this time. And I'm talking about the cheap color pencils that are on the market right now. Of course, Polychromos, Faber-Castells, and your Prismacolors are better than your Ohuhus. I think, though, that the Ohuhus are pretty close to the Prismacolors. My favorite element in this piece are the crystals, by far. And I even love the effect of the Mod Podge that got on the crystals, because it acted like magic erase. And it kept the watercolor and colors from getting on the areas that the Mod Podge ended up landing on. In the few areas it did affect the edges of the picture plane of the stylized figure, it worked out perfectly. So don't be afraid of going past your comfort zone and pushing what is your boundaries and what's different, because if you explore what's out there and what you aren't comfortable with, then you get something very different and very emotional. Because I think that the colors with the watercolors that I laid down in the background were much more vibrant, because it created a highlighted silhouette effect. Don't stick to what you think everyone else is doing or what everyone else likes. Do what is going to be, use imagery that you are going to find that speaks to your soul and your emotions and creates depth in your art. And so the piece, it created that silhouette, that different space in between the girl and in the background. So it's more invoking, it's more emotion. Even though I love this piece, I am still going to make a larger version of this using oil paints, because nothing is as emotional to me than an oil painting. But art is subjective. That's why art is so beautiful, because there's so many styles that you could do, as well as different subjects, and it means different things to many people. Like the one piece I'm working on right now, I have a book. That book is going to mean different things to different people. And when I transfer this to my larger canvas, I'm going to put more elements on the top, because this is 9 by 12. So I don't have a lot of room to add a lot on the top. But in the canvas, I have a lot of room to add to the top. So I want to add a lot of different surrealistic elements and different things inside bubbles. I didn't add anything in the bubbles in this drawing because I just didn't have the room. So if you can't, it would be too busy if I did it in this painting here. But I can use my imagination and create further things and more subjective things and more imagery in the larger piece. My series that I'm working on is a series of art meetings using surrealistic elements, and this is the second piece in that series. I'm going to do 1 or 2 more pieces in the series, and then I'm going to move on to a monotone series, like painting all in like blues and different, like a figure in blue, picture plane using only blue colors, yellows, reds, and that will be the next one. And I am wanting to continue doing my art, and thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of the video. I will speed it up a little bit more. Please join me in my journey. Like, subscribe, and follow for more videos. Thank you for watching. Bye.